It was news yesterday, and it was big news, and it was the acquisition of Noah Hanifin by the Vegas Golden Knights from Calgary. Of course, one of the biggest names on the trade block. The defenseman is now headed to Las Vegas. They do it again, it seems. They just continue to stockpile. They do a great job with the draft, with the trade deadline, and so we finally have our answer as far as where Noah Hanifin's going. Were you surprised by this, that he went to Vegas?
Yes and no. I mean, they have the cap space now with the Mark Stone injury, and we know Vegas likes to, when they think they have a chance, they go all in, and they grab whatever they can to make them better. And this, I mean, the rich get richer on the back end here in Vegas. This is what I thought really separated them last year in the playoffs to win the Stanley Cup, and they just added to it to make it better.
Yeah, their identity is big, rangy defensemen with some mobility, but they make it really tough to play in front of their net because they defend so well. Then you go and add Hanifin. It surprised me as well, but Kelly McCrimmon, once again, he's not afraid. He's not waiting for tomorrow. He goes out and gets it done, and I love the deal. I think it surprised a lot of people, but should we be surprised? This is a guy that brought in Stone, Eichel, blockbuster trades last year. Probably, in retrospect, the best trade of the deadline when he went out and got Barbashev. And all of a sudden this year, you had Mantha, a guy that you believe in. You go out and get him early, and now Hanifin. So he's just continuing to pour it on. That means they want to win and perhaps a chance to keep Noah Hanifin as well, just with the advantages that you have in a state like Nevada. So this is big for the Golden Knights.
Yeah, such a desire for players to want to go play there. Not only the tax break, but also, I mean, the incredible energy and atmosphere that surrounds that team right now in Vegas. An NFL team is there now. You know, there's just so much happening there. But when you look at the fact that these teams have made deals early on in the week leading up to the trade deadline, like 48 hours, 52 hours in advance, and they're going out and getting their number one guy. I mean, Thomas, that's a big deal for these teams to just go get who they want and wipe it off the table and be done with it. There's something to be said for that.
Yeah, yesterday, what I found myself saying to myself, like you analyze a trade and you try to decide winners, losers. There's a distinct advantage to the teams that go out a couple days early and get the guy that's on the top of their list. And that's what everyone did. And you might have to pay a little bit more than you would come tomorrow afternoon when it's getting close to 3 o'clock. But what you do is you assure that you got your own guy. And for the teams that are selling, the asset price, maybe it's juiced a little bit. So you take care of yourselves. And yesterday was a day that I looked at all the players that moved and said, each GM did a great job, and one Stanley Cup will be handed out at the end of the year. I do understand that. Those are all good trades, and I think the mistakes and the big bargains will be had tomorrow, but credit to the guys that go out and get the deals done earlier, because I think you assure yourself the guy that you want.
If you don't have an idea of the market, well, you're not doing your job. So if you get a guy a couple days early and you pay an extra round in the draft, say you give him a third, where you thought you might have had him at a fourth, those things don't matter if you get your guy, right? It doesn't matter, and even if you're one of the 5, 6, maybe 8 teams this year who really think you can win the Stanley Cup, and you have a first-round pick to give it to an asset that's really going to take you over the top, that's what you give. That is the reality of the sport. Every playoff round you win matters to the owner. That's your boss as a general manager. So these things, you got to understand as a fan from that perspective, these things make a lot of sense, and it gives you a better chance to go farther in the playoffs.
Yeah, farther in the playoffs indeed. All right, so Vegas, he will make his debut tonight. Vegas playing Vancouver. So that'll be exciting to see him on the ice in a different jersey.